Welcome back to World Affairs in Context, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Following the US-Ukraine meeting in Saudi Arabia and the proposal of a 30-day ceasefire, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that he is in favor of a ceasefire as long as it leads to meaningful initiatives to end the conflict, not to rearm. Putin stated that the proposal is great, but more work is needed to ensure that ceasefire is properly monitored, among many other important things that need to be considered and discussed first. But I came across many posts and videos with clear disinformation on what Putin actually said. And so because of that, I think it is important to share the source and to allow you to listen to his key points. I posted the full video, the full response on my Telegram channel and also on X, former Twitter, if you would like to watch it next. But here are the key points that were made during that response that are very, very important to be aware of. Take a look.
Мы согласны с предложениями прекратить боевые действия. Но исходим из того, что это прекращение должно быть таким, которое привело бы к долгосрочному миру и устранило бы первоначальные причины этого кризиса. И в этих условиях, мне кажется, для украинской стороны очень хорошо было бы добиться перемирия хотя бы на 30 суток. И мы за. Но есть нюансы. В чем они заключаются? Первое. Что мы будем делать вот с этим участком вклинения в Курской области? Если мы прекращаем боевые действия на 30 суток, что это означает? Что все, кто там находится, будут выходить без боя, мы их оттуда должны выпустить после того, как они совершили массу преступлений против мирных граждан. Или украинское руководство даст им команду сложить оружие. Просто сдаться в плен. Как это будет? Это непонятно. А как будут решаться другие вопросы на все линии соприкосновения? А это почти 2000 километров. И там, как вы знаете, российские войска наступают практически на всех участках боевого соприкосновения. Значит, эти 30 суток будут как использоваться? Для того, чтобы на Украине продолжилась эта принудительная мобилизация, для того, чтобы туда поставлялось оружие, для того, чтобы мобилизованные вновь подразделения прошли подготовку, или ничего этого не будет делаться, тогда возникает вопрос, как будут решаться вопросы контроля, верификации, кто будет отдавать приказы на прекращение боевых действий и какова цена этим приказам. Вы представляете, почти 2000 километров. Кто определит, где и кто нарушил возможную договоренность о прекращении огня? Поэтому сама по себе идея правильная, и мы, безусловно, ее поддерживаем. Но есть вопросы, которые мы должны обсудить.
Trump reportedly decided to pressure Russia into accepting a ceasefire offer as it currently stands. So Trump loves tariffs and he loves sanctions. His administration announced that it will impose more economic restrictions on Russia, specifically targeting its payment systems. So in a nutshell, it appears the Trump-Putin honeymoon may be coming to an end, possibly, as there's very little doubt that Trump's new restrictions will result in any meaningful progress towards peace. If anything, it shows the true intentions and the fact that the United States may be currently unwilling or not in a position to seek peace in the near term. More than 3 years of economic sanctions failed, and doubling down on failed policies now will only lead to more failures, more human lives lost, instead of peace. CBS News, citing 4 sources, reported that Donald Trump is imposing additional restrictions on Russian oil, gas, and banking sectors. Trump is seeking to further limit Russia's access to the payment systems of the United States. The plan is to make it very, very difficult for Russia to export its oil to global markets. So effectively, the goal is to target its revenues. CBS also writes that by tightening sanctions, the White House is trying to convince Russia to accept the terms of the proposed 30-day ceasefire. Although I would argue that convince through pressure doesn't quite work with Russia or with Putin in general. CBS reports here the Treasury Department on Wednesday let lapse a 60-day exemption put in place by the Biden administration in January that allowed specific energy transactions involving sanctioned Russian banks to continue. By letting the waiver lapse, the banks may no longer access U.S. payment systems to conduct major energy transactions. The Russian financial institutions that had been exempt from sanctions included a group of banks listed here in the article. While President Putin effectively agreed to ceasefire as long as there is a genuine effort to continue peace negotiations to end the conflict, both Zelensky and President Trump did not welcome his response, and they did not support it by further indicating that the United States arms shipment to Ukraine would halt and peace negotiations would be made a priority. That didn't happen. Earlier this week, as you might recall, following the U.S.-Ukraine meeting in Jeddah, it was reported that the Trump administration resumed shipping military assistance to Zelensky's regime, and there were multiple reports of Germany shipping significant quantities of tanks and other military equipment towards Ukrainian borders. A good way to show goodwill in a proxy conflict is to hold providing weapons to your proxy. Just hold those weapon transfers to your proxy, and that will effectively show that you do have the intention to initiate peace and to actually have a dialogue. Well, the same, of course, could be said in Ukraine, and the same could be done in the Middle East. However, it appears that the two conflicts that Trump inherited from the previous administration are quickly becoming his. The reason why neither Trump nor Zelensky welcomed Putin's agreement to a meaningful ceasefire instead of a rearm is because they likely presented Putin with an offer that they hoped he would reject. The same day when the offer was made, Ukrainian politicians on Telegram were saying that they would continue forced mobilization of Ukrainian men during the 30-day ceasefire period. Trump also indicated during that time that he would resume weapons shipments to Ukraine. So all signs pointed to them wanting to continue the conflict, and an offer couldn't really be taken seriously. So let me know what you think about these events. Let me know what you think about the response. Once you do watch it, I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. It goes a long way on YouTube, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day.